Thought it might have gotten a piece of Fort, but it only got a piece of the umpire as it got behind the catcher, Mason Lang. Breaking ball fouled away. Good at bat here from Peyton. Trying to stay alive. Appeared in 29 games this last spring for North Iowa. Had 87 at-bats, hit .368 with a .538 on base. Had 4 home runs and 25 RBIs. Breaking ball misses upstairs, 2-2. He changed his approach when he got to college. During high school, he didn't have much of an approach. He was just going up there to see the ball and hit the ball. And he said when he first got to college, he thought that everyone would just throw strikes, so he would strike out a lot. As this one's poked out to left field, it'll be caught by Nick Golden for out number 1. And he quickly realized that just because he's at the collegiate level doesn't mean that everyone only throws strikes. So he started having more of an approach, started hunting pitches rather than just swinging at everything and walking up there expecting to just be able to see ball, hit ball. And it's kind of been the consensus across the board when I've asked guys what the biggest jump has been for them offensively from high school to college. Of course, the pitching is quite a bit different, but also you got to change your approach. Can't just go up there expecting to always be the most dominant player on the field anymore like a lot of these guys were in high school. Now they go to the plate expecting a pitch or doing a little bit more homework before games to be prepared and go hunting. Popped up right side, it'll get out of play. And for a lot of these guys, it's also been timing. Still hunting the fastball, but being able to have your bottom half early so that your top half has a little extra time to either catch up to a fastball or hold up on a breaking ball and at least get a piece of it to stay alive in that bat. 1-1 on Ben Foyer, the shortstop. Line to right field for a base hit. Just sneaks over the head of the second baseman. Scott around third. The play at the plate is in time to get him. Great throw from Connor Goldberg in right to gun down Scott, who got the green light from Gonzalez at third. And the Squats are denied their first run of the ball game. Just a soft liner over the second baseman's head for Foyer. And Scott, little late off second. He hit third right around when Goldberg had picked up the ball, and a strong throw and a great tag by Mason Lang gets Scott at the plate. Here's Karsten Hansen, the 9-hole hitter, making his home debut for the Squatch. Check on Foyer at first.
Sorry, folks, for anybody watching at home. We had a little technical difficulty with the stream. Once in a while, that will happen with the connection services here. But we're back up, hopefully, under the same name, and it'll say new stream in parentheses, but we're back up here at Black Hills Energy Stadium.
The 1-0 on Karsten Hansen. Popped up straight into the air. First baseman comes down the line. Polizzi makes the catch for out number 3. The Squats are denied a run at the plate as a great throw from Connor Goldberg guns down Scott. And we have a 3-0 ball game headed to the third inning. The Oahe Zap lead the Spearfish Sasquatch.
Monday at the ballpark. Here's another one of the dad jokes we have today. Feel free to laugh. Spot-on teamwork saves me so much time, I haven't spent a single minute in my back office this week. Teamwork simplifies employee communications, scheduling, tip-outs, and payroll. It even syncs with my POS, so I know my data is accurate. All right, tips are out. In fact, teamwork has saved me so much time, I was able to take today off to film this.
Cut! Now remember, you really hate that back office.
Leading things off for the Oahe Zap in the top of the third is Ty Farwell. Singled his first time up. 3-0 Zap. Big hack and a miss on the first pitch from Trujillo. Big second inning for Oahe. They scored 3 on 3 base hits. And the one from Nick Golden was really the killer. It was just a base hit to left center, but it just snuck by Hansen and Finn out there in left center. And it rolled almost all the way to the warning track. Allowed Golden to take third and scored Curiel from first. And that's where we stand right now in a 3-0 ball game. Ground ball to left side. Foyer waits for it, picks it up, throws to first. It's high. Scott picks it up and tags him as he goes by for out number 1.
Nice play right there from both of them. Foyer's got a strong arm, obviously. We saw that last inning in Chase Scott. Nice job to kind of get up and get back down, come back to reality, put leather to body. Oh, great song for Vince. The Goonies, one of the greatest movies. Girls just want to have fun, man.
All-time classic.
Isn't it?
Breaking ball drops in for a strike. What would be your go-to movie song for a walk-up song?
That's pretty close. I'm not even going to lie. Oh, I know it. The movie Stand By Me and the song Stand By Me by Benny King.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, or Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Remember the Titans?
Yep.
I'd say those are pretty good ones. Oh, I got one more after this pitch.
Ground ball left side. Work can't handle it as it gets through for a base hit. Just under the glove of the third baseman. Thought he had it. Weird hop, and it just snuck through.
AJ, I would also venture to say that Finger Poppin' Time from The Sandlot is one of my favorite songs in terms of baseball, or Spirit in the Sky, but just songs that remind me of The Sandlot, you know?
It's a good movie to pick from.
Really
Ground
is.
Ball to Scott, picks it up, fires to second for 1. Foyer is able to get him out. Scott stepped on the bag and then threw to second, and Foyer had to put on the tag, and he got him for the double play turn. I didn't know if Scott had touched the bag, and also the first base coach for Oahe is saying that it was foul. And the umpire at least going to listen to the third base coach for Oahe. See how long this conversation goes, as I think both of them have pretty valid points, but they're going to have to take the result. A 3-6 double play. Chase Scott steps on the bag, and Ben Foyer delivers the tag. And the Squatch leave one aboard. It's 3-0 as we head to the home half.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
3-0 Zap as we head to the bottom of the third. Just to recap that last play, there's a couple of things that the first base coach could have argued. At first, the ball looked like it might have gone foul. Scott played it, and he stepped on the bag for the force out, then threw to second. Foyer had to apply the tag to complete the double play, and the umpire called him out. Both coaches probably thought there were 2 or 3 things that didn't happen that the umpire said that did happen, and ultimately the Squatch get out of the inning with a big-time double play. Nick Work leading things off in the bottom of the third, lifts it out to shallow center. Curiel racing in, laying out, and he can't handle it. Drops in for a base hit. Curiel tried to go in for a basket catch, but it popped out of his glove.
Yeah, it's one of those tough ones as an outfielder. Hard to judge, especially in the hot sun. AJ, you and I were just talking about this cotton. It really is like a light mist of snow, like some Horton Hears a Who cotton floating through the air.
It keeps brushing by my face, and it's like tickling my face. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Get away. Owen Michelson digs in as Porciano misses low and away for ball 1. Michelson popped out to the shortstop in foul territory his first time up. Now lines one foul. Michelson's made some big leaps and strides this summer in becoming a all-around baseball player. Said he didn't really have a lot of options out of high school. Didn't know if he was going to be able to play college baseball, but University of North Carolina, Asheville reached out late in the process. They're just up the hill from his hometown. And that ended up working out for him, and he's played a couple of years there.
And there's nobody on the party deck today. Yesterday his bat was a threat to them and slipped out of his hands in the later game.
Maybe he brought an extra stick of pine tar.
Yeah.
Looks like he also added some tape to his bat. Doesn't look like the traditional
No.
like tape that you would put on. Looks more like hockey tape.
Yeah.
Maybe that helps the pine tar stick a little more. 2-1, Work takes off for second. This one's driven out to right field. Goldberg back in front of the warning track, makes the catch for out number 1, and Nick has to go back to first. Good crack of the bat off of Owen Michelson, but just left it up high enough for Goldberg to track it down. Here's Kyle Finn. He's given quite a few a ride, especially yesterday. Had 2 home runs. Now the league leader with 4. Him and Sam Kwapnowski were tied coming into the series with 2 apiece after Sam picked up a couple out in Pier last week. But Finn starting to run away with the home run crown if he can keep up this pace. Check on Work. Ball gets away. Up the right field line. Work. Hard rounder on second. He's taking off for third, and they can't pick up the ball down there. Nick has an extra 180 feet, and all of a sudden the first run of the ball game for the Squatch is 90 feet away.
Only 1 out here for Spearfish. Kyle just looking to put a piece on it. Try to pop it out into the outfield somewhere, get Work home. Was it Work gave one a heck of a ride yesterday, ripped it way foul, or pardon, not way foul, slightly foul.
Yeah.
But
looked like you might have had a chance just to sneak over the top of the foul pole.
Yeah. Nice double play earlier on today, too.
Look at this, an intentional walk on Kyle Finn. As it seems the Zap have been paying attention. That puts runners on the corners for Ethan Mooser. Also does set up the double play.
It does.
I don't think Finn has attempted a stolen base this year. I stand corrected. He has 1 stolen base this season. So we'll see if Kyle takes off to take away the double play. First pitch to Mooser. Tapped foul.
I feel like most fans are pretty confident in Mooser's bat, and the idea that you could probably get a piece of one. But honestly, at this point, can't just put it somewhere in the infield. You got to put it in the right spot, pop it through a gap, kind of bloop it over, if you will. We'll see what Moose can do here.
He's been a pretty efficient bat in the middle of this lineup, hitting .317 this season. Runner takes off for second. The ball gets away. Here comes work from third. He will score, and the Squatch crack the scoreboard.
That's one way to do it. You could do it that way.
Wild pitch scores Nick Work, and now the double play is definitely taken away.
That it is.
Finn was already taking off, and the pitch was spiked. So now, well, the tying run was already at the plate, but now he doesn't have to worry about at least putting one in the air. Now we can try and go ahead and drive one.
Oh, yeah.
Base hit scores Finn. 1-1 on Mooser. He has 13 RBIs on the year, looking for 14 here. Outside for ball 2. He has 13 RBIs, 15 runs, 8 walks, and a couple of stolen bases. Big lead from Finn off second. The 2-1. Upstairs for ball 3. In these situations, of course, you want to be a hero early in the ball game, tie things up with one swing of the bat, but with Porciano having trouble finding the strike zone, got to stay patient and wait for your pitch. Gio Masterosa on deck. The 3-1. Breaking ball misses high for ball 4, and a good at-bat from Mooser. Puts 2 runners on for Gio. Grounded out his first time up, but had a big home run yesterday in the first game, which was technically half a game. But that really got the offense started and is the big reason why they were able to hang 12 in that ball game. He was the catalyst. Trying to be a catalyst here and what would be a comeback winner if the Sasquatch can take a lead here early and hold on. He is the go-ahead run. That one looked way upstairs, but called a strike.
Yeah, a little replay shows probably right about a foot above the belt, maybe.
Good frame there from the catcher, Mason Lang. Fools the umpire. The 0-1 to Gio. Outside, evens the count 1-1.
It's a good take right there from Gio. Trying to put something in play here.
Yeah. 2 catchers in the starting lineup with Michelson getting the nod behind the dish and Gio being the DH. Just shows you how important that position is for Spearfish this summer. The 1-1. Breaking ball called a strike, and Gio looking back at the umpire for the second time this at-bat, asking where that pitch was. And that one also looked low.
Yeah, one above the belt and one below the knees. Break out the 9-iron here.
Now it's a 1-2 count. Masterosa trying to battle 2 different fights here. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and first base is occupied. And a big strikeout for A.J. Porciano.
Yeah, it's much needed for A.J. on the mound, man. Gio puts one in play there and gets it out, and at the very least you advance some runners.
Here's Chase Scott. He was thrown out at the plate on the base hit from Ben Foyer in the second. Trying to capitalize with 2 runners on. The first pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. Had Chase come up into the box yesterday.
Yeah, he's up here for a little bit.
Talked about his mindset and how he's really been working on building confidence. And how, of course, swinging a hot bat always helps. Swing and a miss, 1-1 on the breaking ball. Before this last weekend, Pierre, he was on a little bit of a hit streak. Had gone 5 or 6 games in a row. Did not play in either game yesterday. Another breaking ball, another swing and a miss, 1-2. Porciano starting to dial in that breaker. The 1-2. Driven out to left field. Nick Golden going back. He'll make the catch for out number 3. And the Squatch strand a couple on the base paths. They get one back on a wild throw to first that put Nick Work on third. And then he was able to come in to score on another wild pitch. Nick Work showing off the speed on the base paths. 3-1 Zap as we head to the 4th.
Jet Rogers at Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance.
We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
Three 3-1 Zap as we head to the top of the 4th. Leading things off for Oahe is Aiden Johnson. Popped out in the 2nd. First pitch from Trujillo. Catches the outside corner for a strike. Now joining us up in the press box is Wilson Kiefer. Wilson, it's a hot day today. How are you boys staying cool down there?
Oh, just lots of water, you know. Lots of water and just hanging out with each other down there. So getting some popsicles from the fans, too.
Really?
Yeah. We got some little kids running around giving out some popsicles. So
well, tell them to come up here, too. I mean, I know it's a little bit cooler up here than down there, but we'll
send them up. We'll send them up.
All right, good. Any good flavors so far?
Oh, you know, they're bringing the grape and the blueberry, so
nice.
It's sticking.
Nice. Well, Wilson, got to ask, how are the legs feeling? A few weeks ago, kind of hit first a little weird and banged up the knees and the hammies a little bit, but how are you feeling overall?
Oh, it's getting a lot better, you know. We're just doing a lot of physical therapy and just trying to hang in there as best as we can, support the team, and just trying to get healthy and stay healthy. So, you know, it's coming, but we're getting there. We're getting close. So
hoping to be ready for the second half?
Yeah, for sure.
Good. Yeah, Wilson was really heating up there at third base. Had a couple of nice plays in that game that you got hurt, but unfortunately first base decided to get you. Happened to Niels the other day, didn't it, too?
Yeah.
Got to go get that checked out.
Something with these bases here. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Popped up to the right side. It gets out of play. And a full count upcoming on Aiden Johnson. Now, this is your first summer out here in Spearfish, correct?
Yeah, first summer out here. So
how you been enjoying it so far?
Oh, man, I love it. You know, being close to home, too, I love it. And I know a lot of people out here in Spearfish, so it's fun to kind of have that home feel, the atmosphere, too, you know, and just being able to go home when I want to and being able just to kind of connect with a different group of guys in your school team. So it's been awesome, you know, atmosphere, the fans, the team, it's awesome. So it's been a great first half here of the summer. So.
And it's just a beautiful backdrop here at the ballpark with the rolling hills. You can't really ask for much better than this.
No, nothing gets better than South Dakota, the west side of South Dakota, and playing baseball. So.
And a pretty good crowd out here for Father's Day as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great crowd.
Happy
Father's Day, Dad, if you're listening. I don't know if you're listening, but happy Father's Day, and to all the other fathers out there.
Watching their boys play some ball, and shout out to the dads of the interns as well. I know Aiden and I's dads are watching back home. It's a beautiful day for Father's Day and for some
yeah.
baseball.
It's gorgeous.
Now, Wilson, I heard through the grapevine that you've got a cabin out in Wyoming, just a little bit of ways. That's been a good time for the guys to hang out with.
Yeah, you know, I got a cabin about 20 minutes out there and do a lot of fishing and tubing down there and just hanging out by the fire. So it's kind of a fun spot after games and on our off days to go out and just cool off and be able to hang out with a group of guys. So it's been a lot of fun having that right next to us. So
that's a pretty clutch spot for summer for a summer team.
For sure.
What lake is it on that you guys are going to?
It's just a creek.
Oh, it's just
like
a creek
that runs through. Yeah.
Oh,
just
gotcha.
A creek and just got a whole bunch of trout in there, so go fishing for trout and just hop on tubes and some waterfalls throughout there, little waterfalls, and yeah, so let's go have a good time.
Well, who's your fishing group that you guys go out with?
I'd say we probably got Peyton, Sam, we got Moose, we got Nick, and we got Gio. That's kind of the main group that's been out there right now. So,
watch out. Off of Diego's
on,
legs,
Diego.
picks it up, throws to
He
first.
still got
In
him. Let's go.
time
My
to
boy.
got him. Wow,
Oh,
but
he's
Diego
down.
is hurt.
That's a hard one.
Hard ground ball right off his legs. Somehow still got up to throw out Connor
play.
Goldberg. And boy, the Sasquatch the last couple of days have just been getting beat up.
But, you know, it's always fun. You know, we're bringing in all these new guys, too, the second half here. So we got Carson and Karsten that have been out and stuff and just kind of go out on off days and just have a good time. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that will conclude the top of the fourth inning. Diego able to get back into the dugout on his own 2 feet. Hopefully he's all right after making a great play. Ball going off his shins and gunning down Goldberg at first. 1, 2, 3. The Zap go down in order. Don't go anywhere. 3-1 Oahe, and the Squatch are coming to the plate. Leading things off for the Squatch in the bottom of the fourth is Peyton Fort. Flew out to left his first time up in the second. Trying to get back on his hit streak after going 0 for 4 yesterday. He was on a 9-game hit streak. Leads the league in hits and doubles right now. And trying to start a new streak today and get the Squatch back into this ball game down 3-1. Big chance in the last couple of innings, only able to score 1, but watch out, don't let the Squatch get hot has been the saying this summer. And Fort lifts one out to deep left. Going back is Golden. It is over his head, down to the warning track. Fort around second. He'll hold up there, and another double for P. Fort. Say it enough times and he'll hurt you as he burns Nick Golden out there and left. He said he's one of your guys that goes fishing with you. What's it been like hanging out with him this summer?
Oh, Payne, man, I've probably been the closest with Payne all summer. We've got a really quick, right off the start, we created a brotherhood together and became really good friends. And, you know, it's something that, like, every day I look forward to hanging out with him. And so that's been awesome, man. He leaves here in a couple of days, so that's a tough one to say goodbye to. I'm, like, just getting to know him. I'm like, man, you're already leaving me, bro. So, no, we're talking about coming back next year. So I'm hoping that happens and he'll be back with me and stuff. So. But yeah, it's been a great friend to have out here. So
it's one of those weird things with summer ball. You that first week you're more just learning everybody's names, and throughout the summer, new guys are coming in, but also the guys that were there start to head out. So Peyton's leaving here in a couple of days.
Yeah, leaving here in about 7 days. He's got about a week left, so we're losing a couple guys. I'm losing like 3 of my cabin guys. Man, we got Nick, Peyton, and Gio all leaving. So, like, man, it's weird. Like that front group you create is like half of them are leaving. So, but that's all right. So, I got things to go take care of back home. And
Fort takes off for third ball in the dirt, and Peyton picks up another stolen base. That's his 8th of the season. He's been getting hot at the right time. Kind of struggled that first week, but boy, ever since then, he has been red hot. Here's Ben Foyer, his middle infield brother, over at shortstop. And those two, with their gloves, have been pretty electric as well. They lead the league in double plays. Turned a couple the other day. How fun has it been to watch this middle infield play?
Oh man, that's awesome. They got great gloves. It's cool to have different guys that come in and be able to play and see different talent. And they've been able to work all year up the middle. It's been fun to watch. So.
Crack to right center, going back is Goldberg. It's over his head.
Oh, get on 3.
Off the wall.
3.
Fort is scored. Foyer around second. The throw in is not in time, and Ben Foyer a triple to score Peyton Fort, and the tying run just 90 feet away for Karsten Hansen. Second triple of the season for the Squatch. Their first since Seth Nelson had one in the first series of the season down in Hastings. And Karsten Hansen, in his first start in front of the home crowd, has a chance to tie this ball game up. Ben Foyer's been due for a big extra base hit like that. He's been hitting a lot of singles, but there is able to split Curiel and Goldberg out and right, and it rolled all the way to the wall. Karsten's one of the new guys that just got in last week. What's it been like getting to know him?
Oh, it's been good. That's one of the guys I just kind of instantly just connected with, and came out to the cabin the other night, and he's one of the guys that just right away, something's going to be there the rest of the summer, so it's been fun having him out. So,
is this your first summer playing in a league like this, or have you played on other summer ball teams?
This is my first summer, yeah. I played Legion ball last year back home for high school, but this is my first summer of any collegiate stuff. So,
what's been like the biggest jump for you since making that jump from Legion and high school ball to the collegiate level?
Probably just the pace of play. I've med red in college this year, so I haven't only played 3 games up here, but probably just the pace of play. I haven't gotten much action, but just kind of that and the different bodies. You're playing against 24-year-olds as a 19-year-old. So it's just a lot different than in high school where you're just kind of playing against 16, 17, 18-year-olds. So.
Karsten Hansen grounds out to second, but Ben Foyer is able to come in to score, and we are tied at 3 in the bottom of the 4th. And back to the top of the order, it's Nick Work. He's 2 for 2 today, a double in the first and a single in the third. Comes in from South Dakota State University alongside Tristan Agadal. Trying to get it started again here after clearing the bases. Tapper back to the mound. A jump from Porciano, and he throws it on to first for out number 2. Here's Owen Michelson. We've talked a lot about this catcher's room up here, but I want to get your perspective down there with the 3 guys, and Gio, Michelson, and now Carson Rather. You and Carson were playing pool last night, running the table down there. What's been your connection like with this catcher's room?
Yeah, we have 3 really solid catchers. They're great defensive catchers, and they all can hit. So it's kind of fun having them up here. And Carson's obviously just coming up and has played only a couple weekends here as he wears that one. But it's tough. Being a catcher. You can't play every day, but we've got a really good group of catchers behind the plate, and they're out here fighting every day. So it's been fun having them around.
Now, Rather turned out to be a pretty decent pool player with you guys last night.
Yeah.
Is that like a secret talent of yours to be able to play pool?
Here and there we run the table a little bit, but.
Now you just got to put some money down for it.
Exactly.
Take this kid's money over here.
Can't take what I don't have.
Kyle Finn to the plate. He has been beating the crap out of the baseball these last couple of weeks. 2 home runs yesterday. He is 1 for 1 today. He was intentionally walk his last time up, and this time he's going to make him pay. Oh, never mind. It's caught on the warning track. Thought he had it.
Good piece right there.
Gave it a drive, but right in front of the wall, Kyle Finn flies out to left. And not before the Squatch tie it up at 3 on a big triple from Ben Foyer. Wilson, thanks for joining us up here in the press box.
You, AJ.
Your buddy Isaac's going to hop on here in the 5th inning.
I appreciate you.
3-3 as we head to the 5th. New pitcher for the Sasquatch is the 5'11 senior, the 6'1 freshman from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Jack Riley. Attended this last spring at St. Thomas University. He's thrown 6 1/3 this summer, making just his 4th appearance. Now joining us up in the press box is the man who tried to run through a wall yesterday. Not Samson, but Isaac Martinez. But Samson also up here today in the press box. Always keeping the crowd hyped and having a good time despite the warm summer day. But Isaac Martinez is up here in the press box. Isaac took a big hit out there and left, trying to make a play. How are you feeling today?
You know, I am here. I woke up today and I thanked the Lord for having me here. But yeah, I went through a wall yesterday and just kind of don't remember exactly what happened.
You kind of laid down on the ground for a little bit.
Yeah.
Had us all scared up here.
Yeah, I definitely will say that as soon as that ball hit the fence, I do not remember.
So you said that your neck's hurting you a little bit this morning.
Mm-hmm. You know, I woke up hoping that everything was going to be fine, no neck problems, and, you know, it's just as the day's going on, I feel more problems as it goes. You know what I mean?
Just pounding the ibuprofen?
Yeah, I think the adrenaline was kind of a big one during the day yesterday, why I didn't feel too much. But today, as it's all kind of going away, I'm definitely going with the pain.
So do you think you hit your head against the wall more than your back, or?
I think it was kind of just like I think I kind of just folded. I mean, I was looking all at the ball and was not reminded of where the fence was. So I just kind of fell backwards and feel like I kind of just hit my head and then just kind of cocked my neck back.
Oh, man. Yeah, it looked like you were going up to try and at least throw your back up against the wall and make the catch, but you came short of the wall. Instead laying on the dirt and your head hit the wall.
Exactly. That was the big thing is I knew I got burnt. I knew it was a barrel, and I knew that I just kind of had to regain my ground by jumping and trying to make the play going backwards, although the fence was right there.
Yeah, that pesky thing.
That wooden fence.
Yeah, and zero padding out there, despite all the advertisers that we have out there. It does not. I don't think it really adds much padding to that wood.
It did not. It did not. I felt every part of it.
So when the trainer got out there, do you remember her asking you questions, or what exactly was the conversation with her as you were trying to regain consciousness?
You know, I just remember kind of opening my eyes and Finn just saying, "Hey, stay there. Stay there." So I just kind of stayed there. Trainer came out, asked me if I was okay, and I was like, I'm not too sure.
Gonna be honest with you. Here's a blooper out to right field. Mooser tries to lay out for it, comes up a couple of feet short. It gets by him. Hanson has to pick it up. And that'll be a base hit for Gavin Frazier.
Good effort, Moose.
And that'll bring up the 3-hole hitter, Ty Farwell. But you were luckily able to get back on your feet and walk to the dugout.
Yeah.
What happened when you got into the dugout? We saw you kind of go up the line, and did you go to the bathroom, or?
The trainer kind of just told me to kind of just chill out and just be by myself a little bit. So I just kind of went up by the bullpen, had a little words to myself, and just chilled out for a little bit.
Chug some water?
Yep, chug some water.
Well, we're glad you're doing all right now.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
For the most part. Hopefully the neck problems start to go away soon.
And hopefully I can get in the game for longer than 2 innings this next time.
Yeah. You'd made a great play earlier.
Yeah.
Hosing the kid out at second.
Yeah. I was feeling good. I was like, okay, I got the first 2 balls of the game. Today's going to be a good one. And next thing I know, I'm getting my 3rd ball for the game, and it did not end up that well.
Not the same story as the first 2.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this off day tomorrow will help you be ready for the important series against Hastings.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
Chopper to the right side, deep in the hole at second. Fort grabs it, fires to first.
Good play.
Hidden. No, did not get him. Wow. Runner races in to score, and the Zap retake the lead, and nobody in the world can believe that he was safe.
There's no way.
I don't know how he thought he was safe, unless Scott came off the bag, but the umpire did not make any motion saying that he did. So we're going to get a look at it on the YouTube as we look back at it. Boy, he looks out.
He looks pretty out.
But they're going to have to... Yeah, here's another, or at least we can look at it. It's a little closer. It's definitely
a little bit closer than we thought.
Here's the pitch. It's in there for a strike, but nonetheless, the Zap get a run out of it. One more look at it. It is pretty close, but I think he got him by half a step still.
Yeah.
Ball gets away. Michelson picks it up, throws to first. That one is not in time, as that one just snuck up the third base line. So an infield single for Ty Farwell, and Gavin Frazier went second to home. Here's Vince Polizzi with an insurance run in scoring position. Dancing off second. Here's the pitch. Ground to the right side. Scott picks it up. The race at the bag is won by the Squatch. And the Zap retake the lead 4-3 on an infield single from Gavin Frazier. Squatch coming to the plate, trailing by 1. Have to go to work once again. You're watching the Zap and the Squatch live on YouTube.
Spearfish Canyon Golf Club is the premier golf course in South Dakota, and it's right here in Spearfish, surrounded by spectacular vistas to the beautiful Black Hills. To book your tee time at the scenic Spearfish Canyon Golf Club, visit spearfishcanyongolf.com. And head on down to the False Bottom after the game and keep the party going. False Bottom features great drink specials every night and is conveniently located on Main Street in downtown Spearfish. Today's game sponsors United Country Real Estate. Their representative, Taylor Sheridan, writer and co-creator of Yellowstone, is the sale of the iconic Four Sixes Ranch in 2021. United Country representative Taylor and the Four Sixes Ranch spans 206,000 acres and sold for a whopping $300. Hey, you're the fireman right here. So, United Country Real Estate.
He gets 2 runners on the course, 2 outs. He gets 2 outs, and then when he gets on, let's see what that next round is. Let's see what but now, I just really did about a week away from being done. You want it hard.
New pitcher for the Oahe Zap is the 6'1 sophomore from Shawnee, Kansas, attends Upper Iowa. The pitcher is Hudson Ivy. Has already made an appearance this week for the Oahe Zap. He pitched yesterday in the second game, went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit. And he'll face Ethan Mooser to lead things off for the Squatch. Now, Isaac, what's it like to face a guy that has a little bit of a different arm slot than the typical over-the-top?
You know, it's a little bit different. Me being a lefty, if it is a righty pitcher doing this, it's a little bit easier, I feel, for me. I feel like it kind of runs into your barrel a little bit more. However, if it was a lefty, I'm done for.
Then it's running away from you.
Yep, it's running away from me. It's looking like it's going to hit me, but then going away. Like, it's not a good sight.
Well, especially with you guys have a pretty primarily lefty lineup, so kind of interesting to go with the righty sidearm here. But
and it's kind of crazy because actually at COSO, my college, I was the only lefty on the team.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it feels like everybody on this field played for Saracosa at some point. I feel like we've got more lefties than righties out there.
Hey, everyone's a COSO.
It feels like it. I mean, how many guys on Oahe goes to COSO too? At least a lot of them used to go.
The shortstop, the second baseman, the center fielder, the right fielder, and then the starting pitcher for the Zap today have all either been at COSO or still attending COSO.
So is Justice Scott and Saracosa just a feeder team for the Independence League? Or?
You know, it might be. This is the Justice Scott League.
It looks like it. Here's Gio Mastarosa, and that one misses away, or it's called a strike. Looked like it missed away. And that's the third time that Gio has had to look back and ask the home plate umpire as to where that pitch was.
These umpires, man, they're something.
It's been a tough day for the strike zone today. Runner takes off for second. Gio drives it to left field, and it drops in for a base hit. Nick Golden stopped and watched it drop about a foot in front of him. And that puts runners on first and second. Now, Isaac, correct me if I'm wrong, but you played for Oahe last summer, didn't you?
Sadly, I did. I was a part of this mess last year.
Why do you say, sadly, this mess?
You know, as much as I love Jamie, the head coach over there, and the team, you know, they struggle a little bit. It's tough for them sometimes to get a win, and that sometimes is not the fun part.
It's fun to win in baseball.
It is.
Especially in the summertime.
Yes.
Scott lines it up the middle and through for a base hit. Both runners had to hold up, but both will advance. Back-to-back base hits for the Squatch, and they're loaded for Peyton Fort.
Good swing, Chase.
That'll draw a meeting to the mound as Hudson Ivy is yet to record an out since he's entered the ball game. With the bases are loaded, the go-ahead run is Gio at second base. And Peyton Fort has a chance to either tie this game up or give the Squatch the lead.
No other guy we would want up.
He doubled his last time up, came in to score on the triple from Ben Foyer. And these bottom few guys for the Squatch have been scorching hot.
I'm now Peyton.
Corners in for the Zap. The 1-0. Rides inside for ball 2. Peyton's been red hot over the last few weeks. Went 0 for 4 last night, his first game that he didn't have a hit in 9 games. Here's the 2-0. Called a strike on the outside corner.
Good pitch.
If you're Ivy here, you know that you're facing one of the better hitters in the Independence League. How are you trying to attack him?
I mean, you got 0 outs. You got a hot hitter up right now. You got to get a double play.
Line left side goes foul. Now, if you're Peyton, you know that he's trying to get you on top of the ball and throw one to the corners. How do you combat that if you're Peyton right now?
I'm looking gap to gap, and I'm just trying to see something to drive in the gap or even hit one up the middle.
2-2 on Peyton Fort with the bases loaded, trailing by 1. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. Low and in for ball 3. Good patience. And a full count with the bases juiced.
Uh-oh.
Big spot for the Squatch. Wind blowing out to right. Comes set at the belt, the 3-2. Ground ball, left side shortstop. Over his head. 1 run scores. Here comes Gio from second. Scott into third. Throw goes to third, and Fort will take the extra 90 feet. Peyton Fort delivers a 2 RBI single, and the Squatch retake the lead. Just hit the lip of the grass and flew over the shortstop's head. Gavin Frazier.
Now that was a perfect double play ball.
Exactly what the doctor ordered, but just got a piece of the lip of the grass. Here's Ben Foyer with 2 more runners in scoring position, looking for some insurance. Gets away from the catcher. Here comes Scott from third. The throw to the plate is not in time. Scott slides in safely. Fort takes third. In a big 5th inning 6-5, 6-4 is now the score.
Squatch are hot.
That's been the motto this year. Don't let the Squatch get hot. And they are scorching hot here in the 5th. Big hack and a miss from Foyer, who tripled his last time up. Oh, you talk about a momentum shift. A play that doesn't go your way in the top half, but immediately get a few runs back. What does that do for the mojo in the dugout down there?
I mean, it fires us boys up. I mean, when we are losing and we can go back out there right when after they score and put some runs up, it's the best thing that we could do.
Away for ball 3, and it's 3-1. A lot of times when a play doesn't go your way like that, sometimes that spirals into the bottom half and things start to not go your way even more. But with this team, they seem to get red hot.
Exactly.
Foyer thought that was ball 4, but caught the inner part of the plate, and it's a full count. Still nobody out. And the Spearfish 5th. Ford on 3rd. Delivered the big base hit to give the Squatch the lead. The 3-2. Ground ball to the right side. Fort crashes home. He'll score, and Foyer picks up another RBI.
Good piece of hitting right there.
That clears the bases for Karsten Hansen with only 1 down. Trying to start a new rally here in the 5th and get back to the top of the order with Nick Work on deck. Lifted out to left, Golden over a few steps, makes the catch for out number 2. That'll bring up the third baseman, Nick Work, who is 2 for 3 today with a double and a single, has scored once. Nick followed his brother to South Dakota State after debating whether he also wanted to play college ball or not. But once he watched his brother go out to the Jackrabbits, thought he would want to follow a similar path. And it worked out for him, starting a lot of games his first year out there. Fouled away. Now, I think I got to ask about the upcoming home series against Hastings. You guys are just a game and a half back. And after a slower start to the season than you guys wanted, how does it feel to be right there in the hunt, to have a chance to make the playoffs in the first half?
Hey, I mean, that would be ideal. When I was on the Zap, I was never even talking about playoffs. So if we could figure it out and somehow get above Hastings, then that would be pretty fire.
Watch out, up and in. Yeah, Spearfish was just a game away last year from sneaking into the playoffs in the second half. Couldn't get it done in the final game of the season due to some rain. Really hindered a lot of things in that ball game.
Yeah, we actually, when I was on the Zap, came to that game. We had just gotten done playing Casper for our last game of the season. Beat Casper, and on our way back to Oahe, we were asking the bus driver if we could stop here, so we did.
Did you guys stay through the rest of the game?
Yeah, it was actually a crazy day. They had like 3 rain delays that day, to where they'd play a little bit of the game and then they would stop, then they would play a little bit and then they would stop. And so we were done, and we were just watching it all on our phones in the bus, and I think it was about 11 or 12 at night, and we were like, their game's still going on. So we asked our bus driver. He was not really with it at the start, and all I know is I wake up, and we're in Spearfish. Watching a little Fremont versus Spearfish game.
So Casper, so you guys had beaten Casper.
Yes.
So that had given Spearfish a chance to make the playoffs.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that game. Wasn't even aware of Spearfish at that point last year, but I've heard the stories about that final game. Michelson drives one deep to left field, looking up, and one hops the wall. Work around third. He will score, and Owen Michelson has a 2-out double. Nick Work racing first to home, and Owen Michelson stays hot at the plate.
That is a dude that barrels baseballs.
At the beginning of the season, it was a whole lot of leather, not a lot of grass, but as of recently, he's been finding a lot more green.
Yes. He has been one that has made the term, they will fall, be one.
He expressed that frustration after that first series down in Hastings as Finn pops one up to shallow left. That'll work. Michelson around third. There will be no play at the plate, and Kyle Finn has a bloop single. Michelson goes second to home, and the Squatch now lead at 9-4. 6 runs here in the 5th.
I get an extra long inning.
Yeah, you do. Good luck, Isaac.
Hey.
Here's Ethan Mooser, the Squatch have hit around. This is his second at-bat here in the 5th. Walked and scored his first time up this inning. Upstairs for ball 1. Now Finn's a guy that came in a couple weeks later as well, but has made an immediate impact. We talked about the home runs, but he's got kind of an interesting batting stance. It's been a common conversation up here with the no batting glove, standing more straight up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, so I went to school with him, too. He is a COSO boy, too.
Should have guessed that.
This last year, he was in center field, and I was playing left field for the majority of it, and we got pretty close. And he is one interesting dude that is very, very good at baseball.
Has he told you anything about why he has more of that old school?
No, I think it's just to feel good for him. As long as Finn feels good, he is going to come to play. So he makes sure that he does everything that he needs to do in order to play.
It's such an interesting story how he didn't play baseball his first year out of high school.
Yeah.
And ended up he actually played club ball after 1 year at a JUCO college and absolutely raked in club ball, then started getting looked at again.
Yeah. I mean, when you're 6'7" or 6'8", it's hard. It's hard to get missed.
And it's worked out for him. He's going to go finish up at Georgia Gwinnett.
Yeah, best of luck for him.
Yeah, with P. Fort next spring. Here's Gio Mastarosa. That one drops in for a strike. Gio singled and scored earlier this inning. Now he has 2 aboard with 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th, and the Squatch have been red hot here. 6 runs. They now lead. It's 9-4. It seems to be you guys always have that one massive inning. It's at some point going to come during a game.
Exactly.
It's just inevitable. Ball gets away. Nobody advances as it didn't go too far.
Yeah, it's an odd one for us. It always takes us a little, I'd say a couple innings to get hot a little bit, and then we come to play. That's been the talk about with the coaches of just trying to strike early.
That one nails Gio. And the Zap just can't seem to get out of this 5th inning. Bases juiced again for Chase Scott. Well, whenever you guys have that big inning and the bats do start to get hot, it's not only just whether making a comeback or scoring a couple of runs. You guys are burying the opponent.
Yeah.
Talk about yesterday in that weird half game that you guys played.
Yeah.
Trailing 4-2 and ended up winning 12-4.
I mean, we were hitting. that was exactly how I explained it. I mean, we started at the 4th inning, 5th inning. We started hitting. If it started at the 1st inning, we probably wouldn't have.
Well, it was so interesting because the momentum in Oahe seemed it was more on their side with the big grand slam.
Yeah.
But the rain delay and it pushing it back a couple of days as back-to-back hit batsman drives in a run. And the bases stay juiced for Peyton Fort.
Yeah, and I think that'll do it for that pitcher.
Yeah, Hudson Ivy most likely done as coach comes out and the team is going to create the tunnel for him to come back to the dugout. We'll see who the new pitcher is, and we'll introduce him when we come back. The Squatch lead it 10-4 in a massive fifth inning. 7 runs so far, and they're not done yet. Bases loaded for Peyton Fort when we come back.
Now pitching for the Zap. From being their designated hitter to now their designated pitcher. It's Quinn Ludwigson. Now batting for the Sasquatch. Second baseman, Peyton Ford.
New pitcher for the Zap is the designated hitter Quinn Ludwigson. Attends Mankato State, Minnesota, where Ryan Bachman played for a couple of years. And now he comes in with the bases loaded and 2 down. And we'll have to face Peyton Fort, who's 2 for 3 today. A double, a single, and he scored twice. His second at-bat here in this fifth, as the Zap have just had a tough time getting through this massive fifth inning. 7 runs, 10-4. And the Zap actually struck first. They were leading 3-0 and actually had a 1-run lead coming into this inning. But the Sasquatch have just been barreling everything up. Timely hitting. This one's popped up to shallow center. Curiel races in and makes the catch for out number 3, but not before the Squatch take a 6-run lead into the 6th. Isaac Martinez, thank you for joining us up here. You've been good luck for us.
Thank you, AJ.
Continue to get healthy. We'll miss you out there.
Of course.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming up here. And don't go anywhere. We've got a ball game here in Spearfish. The Squatch lead it 10-4. 10-4, the Squatch lead it as we head to the top of the 6th. Jack Riley back out for another inning of work. He'll face Mason Lang to lead things off. Thank you to Wilson Kiefer and Isaac Martinez for joining us up in the press box. They called themselves the IR Club as they're both on injured reserve until they get back and healthy. As we talked about, Wilson in the last homestand hit first base a little funny and messed up his knee. He's still got a couple of weeks until he's able to come back. And Isaac yesterday went flying into the left field fence. And it was a pretty scary moment, but luckily he's all right and up and moving around. Just a little bit of neck pain, but he's doing okay.
Yeah, good to hear that he's kind of shaking that off a little bit.
Yeah. Could have been a really scary situation.
Oh, yeah.
Especially since he said that he doesn't actually remember exactly what happened. Ground ball to first off the glove of Scott and in a shallow right. And that'll put Mason Lang on first. And the Zap have their leadoff runner aboard.
What a turn of events. Flipping innings. Obviously, when you just score 7 right here, and I'm not even going to take the mic, or I'm not even going to turn the mic off. I'm just going to give it to somebody.
We have another guest up here. We just had Isaac and Wilson up here. Now we have Sam Kwapnowski joining us in the press box. Sam, I think this is, your first off day in like a month?
Yeah. It's been awesome playing, though, in front of these fans. It's been great, especially with their pitching we've had. It's awesome.
Well, yesterday you were supposed to have an off day, but unfortunately Isaac tried to run through the wall and left.
I think there's a dent in the wall out there. We had to go check it.
You think so?
Yeah, I checked it during BP today.
You know what we need to do before the game on Tuesday?
Tape up like
a... Yep, that's exactly where my mind went. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
That'd be awesome.
All right, so we're getting some duct tape tonight.
Get some caution tape out there, too, huh?
Oh, I like that. Sam, we're cooking right now.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. We're breaking onto the field tonight. Don't tell anybody, though.
No, we won't. No.
Okay, I like that. We'll get the...
there actually might just be an entrance over there where he almost ran through the wall.
Runner takes off for second. If the ball gets by Michelson, that'll put Lang on second. I mean, if there really is a dent out there, then it'd be pretty easy to find and just follow the outline.
Yeah.
We got to go back and watch the broadcast and see how he, sat into the wall and get that perfectly.
Yeah.
It might just end up being a butt print. Here's Aiden Johnson in a 1-2 count with a runner in scoring position. He fouls it off. Now, Sam, this is your first summer out here in Spearfish. How have you been liking it so far?
I love it. Great host family, just great dudes on the team. It's beautiful just being able to go do something different every single day. I know me, Nick, Peyton, and Wilson and Moose go fishing quite often up at Iron Creek.
Slow shopper to Foyer, fires across the field for out number 1.
But, yeah, it's been a great experience out here. Been playing with Aiden here. That's at the False Bottoms pool. Been playing pool. Getting really good at it.
I was going to say, you guys have been getting pretty good.
Yeah, we ended on a win last night, so.
There you go. Always good to end on a victory.
Yeah, we were not ending the night off with a loss.
Good.
It was a clean sweep too. It was
Who'd you guys end up beating in that last game?
Well, Wilson and Carson, they were on a heater. They won 4 in a row, and then we walked in there and took care of business.
Took care of business and said, see you later.
Yep. And then we proceeded to leave after that, too.
Exactly. Yeah, and once you're up, you got to leave the casino, right? That's the rule.
Exactly.
Can't be leaving when you're negative.
No. It's never fun.
No. This one's lifted out to deep center. Hansen going back, looking up, and it is gone. Quinn Ludvigsen helping himself out on the mound with a 2-run shot to right center. And the Zap bring it back within 4. Well, the offense clearly will not go away quietly after the 7-run 5th inning. And that'll bring up Connor Goldberg. I think I've got to get in there with against you guys one of these times. Test the duo of you and Aiden on the pool table.
Yeah,
one of these times.
I think you would walk away with a loss.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's only one way to find out.
See you at the billiards tonight.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. I got to figure out who's going to be my partner, though. I know Wilson and Rather are a pretty good duo, so I probably shouldn't break that one up.
Hey, they lost through us, so their duo is now done.
True. I don't know if I want to poach like that, though. If you could pick, obviously Aiden's been your guy, but if you could pick one of your teammates to be your billiards partner, who would it be?
P. Fort.
P. Fort?
P. Fort. I love his play style on the pool table and on the field. Even that sick play that the umpire missed over there, but
Yeah, oh yeah, no, we saw it. We saw it.
That was insane play.
Yeah. Oh, it would have been a highlight reel play, but
Yeah, that might have been Sports Center top 10.
easily. Oh, we put it on Twitter and made sure it got on Sports Center.
How about that standoff with the Zap in?
Yes.
At the Zap's field. It's like kind of
It went pretty viral.
pretty viral, yeah.
It went pretty viral. Like yesterday, we said it went kind of viral. No, it's really blown up.
Yeah, I had a few of my teammates back from college send it to me on Instagram. They're like, "Is this your team?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is."
Just shows off the camaraderie of the guys.
Oh yeah, no, this team's awesome.
And I've asked every guy that's come up here. Just the summer ball vibes are different than just about any other league that you're going to play in because it's all new guys. Those first few games, you're just trying to learn names.
Mhm.
How's it been now that you're almost a month in and a week away from the halfway point? How's it been just meshing with all these guys and making some new friends?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, everyone's really cool and really awesome. Like everyone just enjoys each other's company, and there's not anybody that everyone's just awesome. Like we all vibe together. Everyone is making each other laugh, giving everyone a hard time, or just picking up someone when they need to be picked up or whatnot. Like it's just a great camaraderie here. It's just awesome. Never been part of a summer team that's been like this, so it's awesome to just be a part of it, and then these fans as well. Just being able to play in front of these fans is awesome too.
I've got to ask about one specific fan for you. Grayson, who's one of the kids here that likes to run up and down the concourse and get the crowd into it. You actually gifted him one of your necklaces that you wore all the time during games. Why were you called to give him your necklace?
So the first time I ever met him, he's like, "I really like your necklace. I need to get a matching one." And I was like, yeah, if I can find one, like I'll go buy one for you. And I never found one. And then the next time I saw him, he's like, "Did you get that necklace?" I was like, "No, I didn't. I couldn't find one at Shields." I was like, "But I'll give you this one." And so I don't know. It's just like he's always a cheerful guy. Grayson is, and just he's comes into the dugout and just always just like, even if we're like not winning at the time, like he's just a happy spirit, just hyping us up, getting the crowd into the game for us as well. It's just awesome. I just felt like that was a way of repaying him for him hyping up the crowd and him coming into the dugout and picking us up, even if we aren't winning.
Well, he wears that thing all the time now.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. I always tell him, like, "Man, you look really good today with that swag on." And he's like, Thank you. You know, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, you've become a fan favorite here, and I think you might have a new #1 fan in Grayson. Every time he comes to the ballpark now, he's showing it off to everybody, saying, "Yeah, Sam got this for me. Number 23 got this for me." And it's been really cool to see how this entire team has been able to interact with the fans and the kids that come out to the ballpark. After all the games, you guys line up outside the dugout to sign autographs and things like that. And you said this is kind of a team that you haven't been around before in terms of a summer league team. What's been the biggest difference for you with this summer and this team in particular?
Just everyone getting along and just not – like it's just having fun and just being a part of a team. And, like, we all just play together and have fun. And, like, obviously winning helps because when you win, it's a lot more fun when you win than you lose. But even on those first tough when we were at Hastings, even then it was still like everyone was just – having a good time. Even when we were staying at the Airbnbs, we were downstairs playing ping pong and sting pong and just having a good time.
Playing Mafia on the road.
Oh, Mafia, yeah. Mafia is awesome. Mafia is awesome. We really get into that in the bus. So these when we went to the Zap's place, ooh, what a throw.
Mooser showing off the arm again.
Yeah, I always joke around with Mooser because in Hastings he launched one over the netting, and so every time he throws a ball, I always tell him to keep it inside the park. Like, hey, Moose, if you're going to throw a guy out, keep it in the park, and then he always laughs. It's funny.
He's got, would you say he has one of the strongest arms on the team?
Yeah, he's got a hose piece on him.
He had that great play the last time you guys were here, throwing out a kid at third.
Yeah, that was awesome. That fired up the guys and got the crowd into it as well.
Looks like Andrew Phillips will take over for Nick Golden at the plate. As the new pitcher for the Squatch, who came in while we were talking, Aiden Brothers, the 6'1 sophomore from Gridley, California, attends Oklahoma Wesleyan University with the other Aiden on the team, Aiden Knowles. We guys call him Bob.
Bob, yeah. So the first time I was like, one of the first weeks I was learning names, and I was like, Aiden. And then they were like standing next to each other. They both looked at me. I'm like, oh, no, this is not good. And then he's like, you can call me Bob. I'm like, oh, that'd be easy to remember. And it just, I like it. I think it fits him, to be honest. I mean, he's got a sick mustache.
True. One of the best mustaches on the team, in my personal opinion.
Oh, no
You've got a great stash going right now, too.
Yeah, my mom doesn't like it, though. She told me I needed to shave it, and I told my mom, no, I gotta keep it because I'm competing with Bob here. And Isaac. Isaac's got a freaking nice stash.
Dude, you got a few guys that have got some really nice stashes, and Knowles started to grow out his facial hair, too.
Yeah.
Trying to compete.
Yeah. Well, by the end of the summer, we're going to have like a stash off.
Yes. Yes, that would be great for
you
socials.
You got to start growing one.
Dude, I cannot grow a stash to save my life. I can get the facial hair,
yeah,
but it looks so patchy.
Hey, you can dye it.
Is that what you did?
No, not at all.
No?
For men is greatest thing ever. Yes, I dyed it. Yeah, I did. I had to make it a little darker because it's a little patchy a little bit sometimes.
Hey, it looks good right now. So whatever you're doing, keep it up. It looks good.
Appreciate it.
You're definitely in the running now.
Yeah, well, my mom doesn't think it looks good. Oh,
Popped up, straight up into the air, and just on the other side of the fence, and Michelson gives the fan that it hit a good smile. And so a couple of kids end up with the ball, too.
Go get some Squatch Bucks and get yourself a popsicle.
Yeah, I heard that you guys were getting some popsicles from the kids down in the dugout.
Yeah, we may or may not slide them a few baseballs for them to get a Squatch Buck to get us a popsicle.
Hey, it's a hot day. I don't blame you. I told Isaac he's got to send some of those our way.
Next time I'll tell him to go up to the press box and give it to you.
I appreciate it.
Blue popsicle?
I love blue popsicles. Those are the classics.
Mm-hmm. It's different seeing the game from up here. It's actually kind of a sick view.
Yeah.
You see everything.
I know, especially with the rolling hills in the background.
Yeah, that is awesome.
There are not too many better views than this in summer baseball.
No.
Here's the 1-1 to Frazier. Drops in for a strike, and it's 1-2. Aiden Brothers a strike away from stranding a couple of zaps on the base paths. Aiden Bob Brothers trying to keep the damage to a minimum here in the sixth. The 1-2. Ground ball, left side, work waits for it. He'll pick it up and step in the bag for out number 3, but not before the Zap get its big 2-run home run from Quinn Ludvigsen, and they bring it back within 4. We'll see if the Squatch can get hot again in the bottom of the 6th. 10-6 your score as we head to the home half.
Supporters of the Sasquatch, cheer for Northern Hills Technology, your local IT service specialist and a proud sponsor of today's game. Northern Hills.
Enter to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota. you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
Thank you to Sam Kwapnowski for hopping on the headset and joining us for the top of the 6th. A 2-run home run from Quinn Ludvigsen. Now he takes the mound to face Ben Foyer in the home half. Squatch still lead by 4. Ben Foyer in a 2-0 count. Due up, it's Foyer, Karsten Hansen, and Nick Work. 2-0 is upstairs for ball 3. Now joining us on the headset is Evan Luke. Evan, you had a great start a couple of days ago. What is this, like your second time on the headset now?
I think so. I haven't made it up as much as I wanted to in the past, but, I mean, back up here now.
Good.
Up here now. Yeah.
Glad to have you back up in the booth. I know it's been a minute since since you guys have been at home.
Oh, yeah. It feels like it's been forever.
Yeah. I mean, you guys had 2 away series for well, it was almost 2 weeks that you guys were on the road. At least it felt like it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been on the road forever. It's definitely good to get back in front of the home crowd, and haven't lost one in front of them yet. So
gotta
at
keep
least
that
in this
rolling.
series.
Yeah, in this series. In this series, you got to keep it rolling, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
How have things been? You had a start in front of the home crowd a couple of days ago. How's the arm feeling?
It's a little sore right now. I can't lie. That was a couple of days ago. I didn't throw that too awfully many pitches, but honestly, like going into that last inning, I wouldn't say my preparation for the game wasn't the best, but I think my arm just got a little bit tired kind of going into that last inning. Started walking a little bit of guys, but pitch count wasn't too high. Should be ready to roll back around on Thursday.
Good.
In front of the home crowd against Hastings. Get a little bit of revenge against them, hopefully.
And a big series, too. You guys are just a game and a half back of them for first place. As Hansen lifts one out to center field, laying out and making the catch is Emiliano Curiel for out number 1. Great catch out there in center. But you talked about that first outing in Hastings, dropped all of them out there, had a rain delay, a game get canceled, but now you guys are all of a sudden a game and a half back. What have been the vibes in the dugout on this 4-game win streak?
I mean, they've just been as high as they possibly can be. I think going into the game now, we just have that feeling that we're going to win. It's like nobody's playing scared. Nobody's playing tight. We're just loose. We're having fun out there. And like I talked about in the last broadcast, I mean, it's all summer ball's about. And whenever you're winning, it's a lot easier to have fun.
Well, it feels like every single cylinder that is in that dugout, in that bullpen, has been clicking. As this one is driven to left center, it'll drop in for a base hit. Nick Work is aboard for the 4th time today.
And Work's been red hot as of late. I mean, not only in the batter's box, but with the glove as well. I mean, today he's been phenomenal over at third base in the first inning, I believe. Turning 2 all by himself. I mean, you can't really ask for more. And whenever he's on short, too, I mean, he's made a couple of great plays behind me. Him, P4, and Ben have just been spectacular for me.
Well, it's just felt like, especially the defensive side of things, have started to come together with those 3 guys on the infield being more solid rocks. At the beginning of the year, you're trying to get everybody in, see what they can do. But it really feels like those 3 guys have solidified themselves in the starting lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll kind of see that as the year goes on. You know, most of the guys that you'll see in the starting lineup today have, been consistent starters for us during this win streak. Ben, Owen Michelson, Kyle Finn has been huge ever since he showed up. But most of these guys that are playing every day have been guys that took that first trip down to us with Hastings whenever we only had, 20 guys come down. So.
And it felt like the bullpen was on its last thread when we left.
Absolutely. I think everybody's arms were tired. pitchers weren't too efficient. I mean, that was most guys' first times getting back out there over in Hastings. Long bus trip, cold, rainy. We're in Hastings, Nebraska.
Of all places.
Right. I mean, by the end of that week, I said I don't really ever want to go back to Hastings in my life.
Hey, that's very much fair, especially in that field, how big that field is. It probably helps you out more as a pitcher. I know we talked about it last time you were up here, but just a crazy dimensions on that field.
I mean, unreal dimensions. I think it benefited them more than us for sure.
Third baseman picks it up, fires it across the diamond, and picks up the double play to end the bottom of the sixth. Great play by Ty Farwell in the hot corner to get it on the backhand, and very similar to what Nick Work did to the Zap in the first inning. And the Squatch leave a couple of stranded on the base paths. Quick bottom of the sixth. Evan, don't go anywhere. We've got some more questions for you in the top half. 10-6 your score as we head to the seventh. New pitcher in for the Squatch is the 6-foot freshman from Colorado Springs, Tyler Russ. Attends the United States Air Force Academy. Had him up last night for Salute to Service Night. Talked about him and his family. His sister just graduated from Air Force. His dad actually played for the Denver Broncos for a few years. His mom flew for the Air Force for quite a while. A really good story there. But we also talked about his pitching, of course. He redshirted his true freshman year in Air Force, but he pitched earlier this week, and his curveball just looks absolutely disgusting. And you talked a little bit about it when we were off air, but why is it so good, and how does it break so much?
Well, I think for starters, I mean, you just look at him and look at those legs. I mean, those things are ginormous. It all stems from the bottom up. That's all pitching is how well you can correlate your lower half into moving your upper half. And what he does so well is he rotates his body in a manner where whenever you get that breaking ball out in front, you have so much power from the ground up that thing's going to spin like crazy. And that's why he's so efficient with it. And that's why you'll see with his fastball as well that it'll stay up rather than kind of diving down like some other pitchers will. He has a very, very high spin efficiency and a very high spin rate.
When you also watch him pitch, he throws more over the top, but he almost holds it, as we see that nasty curveball there for a big swing and miss. But it almost looks like he's doing a pull down like you would do in practice.
Yeah, that's another thing. He talks about getting out in front of it, and that's the arm slot that works perfect for him. So if he has to short arm it, absolutely. It's all about feel. I mean, that's all that pitching is. You do what's best for you. So for me, I'm a guy that likes to get very long with it and then time my lower half up with my long upper body. So I'm going to be moving a lot slower. When Tyler, he likes to move fast with his lower and upper body, and that's why that arm is just going to kind of be still rising up whenever he comes down.
Are there any major advantages to being a little bit longer compared to being a little bit shorter? Or is it really all pitcher specific?
It's very pitcher specific. So for me, I'm a very lanky guy. I think it all stems from my freshman and sophomore year of high school. I was 6'4". I haven't grown an inch since freshman year of high school.
Yeah,
I was
me neither.
6'4", but I think I weighed $140 compared to right now I'm at 210, and
wow.
Going into my freshman year I was up to 240. So that's a 100-pound difference from my freshman year of high school to my freshman year of college. And I think it's what I grew to do.
Here's a ground ball to short. Foyer gets around it, fires to first in time to get Ty Farwell.
So yeah, I mean all it is just it's what you feel comfortable with. I mean, you'll look at a guy like Tristan. He is almost directly at 12 o'clock with a 6'7" frame.
It's
and then
ridiculous.
you'll go to a guy like Peters who's almost completely sidearm. And it's crazy. You do not have to have a specific build for pitching whatsoever. You look at Bartolo Colon or something like that. I mean, there is no one pitcher-specific build. There is no one way to throw hard. It really is. Pitching is something, if you work on it from a young age, pitching is something that anybody can do.
Here's Vince Polizzi trying to time up Russ. Here's a ground ball again to Foyer. Oh, and it gets through him. Was waiting for the hop on the backhand, and it just sneaks under his glove.
That's a tough one. I mean, this infield has been bouncy all week long. I'm sure he thought that one was going to keep bouncing, and it just stayed on the ground.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of bad hops. Talk about Peyton Fort's ground ball that bounced over the Zap shortstop with the bases loaded. Would have been teed up for a good double play, but just caught the lip of the grass. And you're right, this infield has been full of bad hops this week with how many games have been played.
Yeah, just a lot of wear and tear down there. That first game that I threw on Friday, I think a similar thing happened to Ben where it just hit the lip of the grass and then it bounced straight over his head, and he comes up to me and starts apologizing. I'm like, dude, you have nothing to apologize about.
Just a bad hop. Laying inside out, swing, pops it up to left. Finn is there for out number 2.
Talk about making an impact ever since you've gotten here. I'm sure you've talked about it, but Kyle Finn, red hot as of late. I mean, an unreal amount of RBIs. I don't have the sheet in front of me, but unreal amount of RBIs. He's just been phenomenal ever since he's gotten here.
Coming into today, he has that's not right. It says 0 on my sheet, which I know is wrong. I'll have to take a look about it.
So.
I'll take a look at the game changer during the break. But you're absolutely right. Ever since he's gotten here, he's been mashing the baseball. Is now the league leader in slugging as well. And I'm sure it's only gone up after his 2 home runs yesterday.
Yeah, and he'll keep improving. I mean, he's just a guy he's committed to it. He's got his routine down, and I mean, it's fun to watch. It really is. In the hotel this past week, he was in the swimming pool at 11 o'clock, just laying face down in the swimming pool, just doing meditation, like face down
in the pool.
In the pool, he'd come up like every minute or so to get a breath of air, and then he'd go right back down and continue doing meditation.
So do you guys have a pool for him out here then that he can do that, or?
I hope he's got one because he was huge that week as well.
He must be because he's been swinging hot bat here too. Russ will check the runner at first, gets back in time. But you've also gotten a lot of new pitchers down there in the bullpen these last couple of weeks, including Tyler Russ, who joined at the later half of the last home series, Hudson Hart as well. Tristan Agadal's made an impact early on since he's gotten here. What's it been like having some of those new guys join you guys down there in the bullpen?
I mean, they've bonded right away. I mean, that first road trip was huge for all of us guys that were originally here, but all of the guys that have shown up later have just come right into it. I mean, we're all best buds down there. We all have great conversations down there. I mean, there's never a dull moment in the bullpen. I mean, anywhere you go, the bullpen is the home of some of the craziest stories you'll ever hear, some of the craziest people you'll ever meet. I mean, it's the most fun experience of all time being just down there in the bullpen.
I ask every pitcher that's come up here, who's the life of the party down there in the bullpen?
Oh, that's a good one. I'd say myself.
There you go. Good answer. Good answer.
No, but other than that, I'd probably have to go with BY, Brian Young. I mean, there's never a dull moment with Brian. He loves to talk, that's for sure.
Yes.
I know he was up here the other night, and he was up here for a really long time, that's for sure. I'm sure he had a lot of fun stuff to talk about. But, yeah, Brian, there's never a dull moment with him, and he's a real fun guy to just be around.
I could not agree more. We also had him mic'd up in that series down in Hastings. I know we keep going down to that, but we had him mic'd up when he caught Jordan Bowman's bullpen.
Yeah, and this was what? That was day 2, day 3?
Yeah.
I mean, he just acted like he had known everybody there for years. I mean, he's just a phenomenal guy, like stand-up guy. Everybody needs a BY in their life, that's for sure.
Yes. I agree. He's been one of the lights of the party up in the press box, and every time that the team goes out for dinner, it always feels like BY's bringing the party with him.
Absolutely, no doubt about that.
Here is Quinn Ludvigsen. Had the big home run last inning to bring it back within 4. Now he has 2 on, but 2 down. Tyler Russ trying to leave a couple of zaps on the base paths. Delivers a strike. Now, you guys have been playing the Zap for an entire week now.
Feels like an eternity.
What's been the biggest thing that you've learned about Oahe this week and that you can carry on moving forward through the rest of the season?
Just specifically playing against them?
Yeah.
Throw it in the zone. From a pitching standpoint, just throw it in the zone. I mean, they're not going to punish you with the bats, as mean as that sounds, at least. The hits that they got off me necessarily, I'd say, weren't the hardest hits. But today they're swinging it well. I mean, 10 hits. But if you put it in the zone and you've got good movement to your stuff, they're not going to punish you too awfully well. And whenever you have hitters like we do, you can just feel confident on the mound. Even if you give up 1, 2, 3 runs, you can feel confident that your team's going to come right back and do it twice as worse to them.
Well, we talked with Isaac about it earlier. It just feels like there's always that one inning where the offense doesn't just go off and start hitting the ball well. They're burying the other team. I mean, we had 7 runs in that 6th inning. Of course, Oahe isn't away yet, down by 4. But it just feels like when those innings happen, it's not just, we're sprinkling some runs on. It is burying.
Absolutely, yeah, putting it on them. We had a couple of those over in Pierre, especially that first game. I think the score was a lot to a little. I know that, but there was one inning where I think it just felt like it went on forever, and that's what we do. I mean, we have been phenomenal. Tyler
Russ makes the catch, standing on the mound.
You don't see that too often.
No.
That's good for him. if that's me, I'm running as far away from that ball as I possibly
can.
You
don't trust yourself to be able to get up there?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Hey, pitchers are athletes, just some more than others, I guess.
I'm more confident with it on the ground, that's for sure.
That's true. That's true.
Bunts, completely fine. You get a little comebacker that comes to me, that's completely fine. Anything up in the air, I cannot read the backspin of the ball to save my life.
All right, so you need to get out and shag some more fly balls then.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, 10-6 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Don't go anywhere. We've got a ball game here in Spearfish.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
The laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
10-6, the Squatch lead the Zap as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Quinn Ludvigsen back out for another inning of work. He has a 2-run home run and has also been solid in relief for the Zap, coming in late in that 7-run 5th inning to relieve Hudson Ivy, who could not finish his inning. But Ludvigsen's been solid and trying to eat up as many innings as he can in this Game 3 matchup against the Squatch. Fanted comebacker to Ludvigsen. He'll flip to first for out number 1.
Yeah, he's been Ludwig on the mound has been phenomenal. Not only on the mound, but he's been swinging a hot stick relatively. I mean, he's definitely been one of their better players in the 7 games that we've played them now. So he's been phenomenal.
It feels like in summer ball, and I guess at the collegiate level too, there's a few more two-way players, but especially in summer ball, I feel like teams rely a little bit more on those two-way guys, especially early in the season, like we did. In terms of, especially that first series down in Hastings, having to get a few extra arms in there. But it's a little bit more common in Summer League to find some pretty good two-way players, it feels like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I hadn't seen a two-way player the entire year of college ball. I mean, nobody on our team had two-way, but coming out here, I think we got, 3-4 guys on the team that are two-ways. You got Diego, Bo, Scott can pitch a little bit.
Yep, he's throwing it a little bit. Torelli.
Yep. Huge yesterday. I mean, just pumping straight heat.
He ate up 3-4 innings yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about that for a minute. I mean, you start a game on Thursday, and then the rain delay, and almost 48 hours later, you're finishing the game at home. And we compared it to the Chicago Cubs in Game 7 and their rain delay, except, of course, ours was a lot longer than that. But it just felt like it was a completely different ball game when you guys came out here compared to what was happening, especially in that game on Thursday with all the momentum after that grand slam.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, not to say that rain delay was big for us, but I will say that it was really big for us. Kind of getting time to, set back into our feet, just look down, be where our feet are, and kind of just resetting, knowing that we're better than these guys and we can go out and we can put up a 10 spot in the first inning of play that we have in this game. And that's almost exactly what we did. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we scored, six runs that first inning?
I think you're right. Yep, 6 runs in that 6th inning, 2 in the 5th. And you had already had 2 runs the inning before that. And it felt like, because the day before, the bats were also hot.
Yeah.
And that first came back here, so it almost felt like those bats started to roll over into the beginning, or I guess the end of that game on Thursday.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The bats have just been hot all week long, ever since we started that series against the Nebraska Prospects. I think after that game that we won 21 to whatever, I think that's whenever we figured out, okay, we're a pretty good ball club. Let's keep doing that. And that's whenever the confidence just kind of started rolling in. I mean, all hitters had 3-4 hits during that game, and confidence rolled in for a lot of people, and they carried that into the series on Fremont, and that sweep was absolutely huge for us. We were going nuts on the bus on the way back, and ever since then we haven't really looked back.
Well, especially, I mean, that Fremont series at home went to that 5th game of the rubber match and couldn't quite get the job done, and then you go into that Nebraska series, hang 20 runs, and the script is completely flipped the next time you see Fremont in their own home.
Yeah, absolutely. And Fremont not having the best year so far, but the ability that we had to, number one, we go out there after 8 hours on the bus, we put up an insane amount of runs on them. Then the next day we come back from down deep, win that game, and then the next day we come out and we put on an insane amount of runs once again. So that was just a very hard-fought series, and there was nothing that we should have been mad about during that series at all.
Especially that comeback win. That was exciting to
Absolutely.
watch for sure. 10-6 as we head to the top of the 8th. Quinn Ludvigsen is dealing on the mound for the Zap. See if his offense can back him up when we come back. Or catch the game live at the ballpark. The Squatch will battle the Sodbusters at 6:05 this Tuesday for Mascot Night, presented by Great Western Tire. The series will continue on Wednesday for Park in the Park Night and Thursday for Nerf Night. Get your tickets and learn more about all the great theme nights at SpearfishSasquatch.com.
Sasquatch fans, if you're feeling drained, dehydrated, need a little quick energy boost, come experience the ultimate recharge with IV hydration at Peak IV Infusion and Wellness, Spearfish's premier IV therapy clinic. Visit their website at peakinfusion.org to learn more and how you can support your immune system, rehydrate, and feel your best this summer. Peakinfusion.org.
That's gold. That's gold.
New pitcher for the Sasquatch is the man from Hawaii. At least that's where he plays ball now. The 6'1 sophomore, Rin Chambers, originally from San Clemente, California. Now at Chaminade University down in Hawaii, making his 4th appearance of the season. He's thrown 8. He comes in with a 9.0 ERA. And Rin, he makes it very well known that he goes to school in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's about – and honestly, without him saying that, I feel like you'd be able to tell. He talks like he's like a surfer. He looks like he would be a surfer. He's a very, very funny guy to be around. Like he's the first like surfer dude that I've ever known in my entire life. I grew up in the middle of Missouri, like
yeah, not too many waves out there to be hitting in the middle of summer.
We got the Lake of the Ozarks, but there's not much going on there.
Not too much surfing?
No, definitely not. You got tubing. That's about all we got.
That's still a good time.
You go on the 4th of July, you'll get some pretty big waves.
There you go. You do a little bit of wake surfing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun.
Not quite the waves that Rin is looking for, but but it's been really funny to get to know Rin, and he said that one of these times he wants to get up here because apparently he has some pretty crazy surfing stories. And when you're in a place like Hawaii, you've got to have some pretty good ones.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've heard a couple of them. He enjoys going out. He said he has a moped down at college. He doesn't have a car. He has a moped, and he'll ride that around, and it's a 5-minute moped ride to the beach, and he'll go there whenever he wants to. So,
sounds nice. Wish it would stay nice enough to drive a moped year-round. Going to Iowa, that's not possible. Kids get mopeds, but you can only use them for about 2 months out of the school year.
Well, in the Midwest, it'll be June and it'll be 105 degrees outside, and then flip page to February and you got 10 inches of snow on the ground. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Here's a drive to center as Carson Hansen is underneath it. Yeah, you have 10 inches of snow and it's -30 with wind chills at -50. The roads have a thin layer of ice. Yeah, my favorite story is in high school. We had an ice storm come through, and they tried to have school, but our street, where in my neighborhood, it was completely iced over, and kids were literally doing laps on their ice skates on the street.
Well, you're from Minnesota, right?
Yeah, so it's a little bit different.
So I'm sure it's a lot harder for them to actually cancel school up there. You have to have a lot of snow. See, being from Missouri, you get 3 inches of snow on the ground, and school's canceled for the next 3 days.
Sounds nice. Yeah, not in Minnesota or in Iowa for that matter. Tapper to first, Scott has it, fires to second, and it gets away from Foyer into left field. Goldberg has third, and that's the 4th error on the Squatch tonight.
And if there were one place of improvement that I would say for this team, it'd definitely be just cutting down some of the errors, minimizing some of them. I think we're averaging around 2 a game, which, on a field that gets worn down a lot. You have the Legion team that plays here. You have other teams that practice here as well. It's gonna be worn down. It's gonna be hard to figure out some of those hops. But I would say if we were to fix one thing, it'd definitely be that.
Throw down to second is not in time. Michelson's been really good behind the plate, but couldn't catch Phillips. And 2 runners in scoring position for Gavin Frazier. And despite the 7 runs in the 5th inning, the Zap are not going away quietly.
Yeah, and we've seen this too. They get on base very well, whether that be from drawing long ABs, going into walks, getting hit by pitch, or kind of just blooping it down in there. They've been able to get on base. In terms of capitalizing on that, though, it's been a tough week for them in that portion. I believe I gave up 5 hits and 3 walks, but only 1 came across the plate in the 5 innings of work. So they've definitely been stranded out there a lot this week.
You got to give yourself a little bit of credit as well for being able to pick up some big strikeouts as well and get some big double plays.
Yeah, and I feel like it always matters a little bit more whenever you see that guy over on third base. It's like, well, I can't let that guy get into home plate. And that's kind of usually whenever I lock in. Saw it a little bit during that first time that I pitched against Fremont. There were a lot of guys that ended up on first base, but only plated 2 runs that day as well. The thing is, I just have to cut down the walks and then stop letting them advance from little bloop hits or other walks and whatnot. Just have to go attack them from the get-go.
Here's the 3-1 on Wren. Big swing and a miss, and he's worked a full count. 2nd and 3rd one down. Chambers would love a strikeout right now. Gets the sign from Owen. Comes set. 3-2. Low for ball 4. And now the bases are loaded and the tying run coming to the plate in Ty Farwell.
Looks like down in the pen for us we have Jackson Peters up and moving. And you want to talk about money? He's been phenomenal all year long. He has a sub-1 whip, sub-1 ERA. He has not allowed any room for breathing for these other teams.
We've dubbed him the Grim Reaper up here in the press box.
I'd say that's a perfect name for him.
Especially last night in the 9th inning. Coming out of the bullpen, it felt like the game was over. This one's flipped down the left field line and it goes foul. Ty Farwell in a big spot here trying to will his team back into this one, trailing by 4, and he is the game-tying run right now. Now, these situations, Evan, of course, you never want to put yourself into this situation, but when you are, what's the mindset trying to get out of a jam like this?
Well,
that one scooted away from Michelson, but nobody advanced.
That's surprising that nobody advanced on that. But back to what I was saying is it means just so much more whenever you have 3 guys on base and 1 swing of the bat can bring in 4 runs. That's whenever you just bear down. You throw your absolute best stuff. Sometimes when you have nobody on base or even 1 guy on base and you've just been cruising through a game, it's easy to, just not throw your best stuff, kind of just lob it in there a little bit. But whenever you have bases loaded and a relatively close ball game like this, it means so much more, and that's whenever you just have to hold that line.
Popped up straight into the air, but it'll join the stands. And Arin's ahead in the count 1-2.
And Wren is one of those guys with phenomenal stuff. He throws it in there in the upper 80s. He'll get up there in the velocity category, and he's got great off-speed stuff. The thing for him is just going to be minimizing those walks, and that's a theme throughout this entire pitching staff is just we have all the stuff. Can we throw it in the zone? And we've been getting a lot better at it. He had a lot better of a closing opportunity the other day in this series against the Zap, and he came in and shut the door. So it's just the thing about, minimizing the walks and just trusting your stuff, throwing it in there, knowing that they're not going to hit it off you if you just throw it in there.
He has a fastball that sits around 88 to 91, said he would love to be more consistent in the 90s this summer. Also has a changeup and developed a curveball when he got down to Hawaii. He said he really only used to throw a fastball changeup, but his coach really encouraged him to add in that third pitch, that swing and miss pitch, and he added the curveball, and he gets a big swing and a miss there for out number 2.
And there was the changeup that you were just talking about. That thing has to have at least 1.5 feet of horizontal break to it.
Just as Scott's going to pop out of the dugout, Jackson Peters still warming up. See if Scott pulls the plug here, if he lets Chambers have one more.
I believe he gave the motion down to Peters. He's walking out right now.
Well, watch out. Here comes the tall Grim Reaper making his way onto the field with the bases loaded and 2 down. Ren Chambers picks up a big strikeout, but ultimately, if any of the runs score, they will be on him. See if his buddy Jackson Peters can help him out and get out of this jam. 10-6. Peters, the Grim Reaper, enters the game when we come back.
Pitching for the Sasquatch out of the bullpen from Plano, Texas, in St. Edward's University, number 38, Jackson Peters.
New pitcher for the Sasquatch is the Grim Reaper, Jackson Peters. Threw 1 inning last night in the 9th, had 3 strikeouts to end the game and strike out the side. Now he comes in with the bases loaded and 2 down, facing the cleanup hitter, Vince Polizzi. He is 1 for 3 today. He reached on error his last time up, advanced to second, and he had a single back in the 3rd. That one misses inside for ball 2. Jackson, one of the veteran guys for the Sasquatch, his 2nd year out here. What's it been like having him down in the bullpen?
I mean, he's a character. He's all the guys down in the pen absolutely love him, and it's a lot easier to like a guy whenever he's able to do the stuff that he does on the mound for our team. Not only that, but he's been in college for now going on to his 5th year. He's going to be a redshirt senior going. He's in the transfer portal right now. Wherever he decides, he's going to be a redshirt senior. But just learning from him, being a freshman this past year, I mean, there's still so much to learn, and a lot of these guys in our bullpen are so young. And he's just been just a great mentor for all of us.
Now he's got a pretty big game in his hands right now. Most likely will have the 9th as well. And a 2-1 count with Polizzi. There's a strike, evens the count 2-2.
And just seeing that arm motion, we've talked about it so much. It really just pains me. It's tough to look at, but it gets the job done, that's for sure.
I mean, can you imagine standing in the box and looking at a kid as tall as him, 6'7" or whatever he is.
Whatever, yeah.
And then you see this.
Big dude, too. I mean, he's a strong guy, that's for sure.
We've talked about the arm motion, the leg kick. You don't really know where to look to find the baseball.
No, absolutely. He hides the baseball so well, and that's what makes his stuff so effective. Other than the velocity and the movement, he hides it. Unreal.
Full count, ground ball, right side, sneaks through for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes another around third. He will score. Ball scoots up the third base line. Runner takes off for second. And Vince Polizzi drives in 2-run on the base hit to right. And now we have a 2-run ball game, 10-8. And the Zap putting together a massive 8th inning.
And for Peters to come into this situation, that's a very tough situation to be put in. You have bases loaded. You're just expected to get that one more out, and it's a lot harder than a lot of people think, just the pressure of coming in with a really tough situation. It's never easy.
Here's Mason Lang. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Lang has scored twice today. He's reached both times. First one was on an error. The second time was a free base. Trying to tie things up with one swing of the bat. With the tying run on second, he could give the Zap a lead if he's able to get a hold of one. Polizzi on second, and it's Gavin Frazier on third. Peters trying to limit the damage here in the 8th. Big hack and a miss, and it's 1-2.
And Polizzi down in that series that we had in Pierre. He was phenomenal for the Zap. I believe a South Dakota State native.
I believe you're right.
That's where he plays. So we've got a couple of guys that know him, Tristan and Nick Work. They're all good buds with him.
Polizzi actually went to Loras College, but Andrew Phillips went to South Dakota State, and I believe one other kid did as well. They've got a couple of STSU kids over at Oahe as well.
I've got a bud that plays at Loras. I played summer ball with him. And then
it?
another guy at my high school, he plays basketball, or from my high school, he plays basketball there.
Gotcha. Yeah, Loras is a really good baseball school. As this one's pulled foul. They play the Hawks every year at the beginning of the season, and their catcher, Daniel Rogers, actually transferred to Iowa this last year and had a massive year.
Yeah, no, my bud that I played ball with in the summer a couple of years ago, I mean, he's a phenomenal pitcher. He's going to be mid-8s from the left side, and I know he got that offer from Loras, and he immediately wanted to jump on it.
Here's the 2-2 from Peters. Outside for ball 3. Full count, 2 down in the top of the 8th. Big pitch here for Jackson Peters. Does have first base open.
Peters right here, this is just where you have to bear down. Trust that fastball. That's been phenomenal all year long. Hold that line and just know that you're better than the guy in the box and just throw it in there and blow by him.
Long look in. And he's going to call time. Full count, 2 down. In a 2-run ball game, tying run is on second. The 3-2. Fouled off. Watch out, Bach.
Bach a little rattled down there, that's for sure. We've had a lot of those this week, kind of just like shots that have. The craziest one that I saw yesterday was the one that split like the pole and like almost hit the fans that were sitting right there in that section.
I was going to ask, because I thought that one went into the dugout yesterday.
No.
Upstairs for ball 4.
Yeah, that one, I believe it hit the rail like right in front of where Grayson is, right down there.
Yeah, that could have been a scary shot if it accidentally hit anybody.
Came off the bat really, really hard.
It's a crazy angle to hit one at, too.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not sure how it necessarily happened, but
Here is Aiden Johnson with the bases juiced and 2 down. The go-ahead run is on first. And Michelson's going to jog out to talk things over with Peters.
I'm sure he's just telling him, slow down a little bit. I mean, just trust your stuff. Like, he has just been unreal phenomenal for us all year long. He hasn't really come in too awfully much with runners on. He's mostly kind of just that closer guy in the 9th inning. He's got to bear down right here, keep that lead for us.
Trying to limit the damage in a 2-run ball game. This will be the 8th hitter this inning for Oahe. Up and away for ball 2.
To me right now what it looks like is Peters is just flying his chest open a little too quick. What makes him so efficient is his ability to stay closed and get all that rotational power whenever you do open up. Right now it looks like he's just trying to guide it a little bit, and he's just opening his hips up way too quick.
There's a strike on the outside corner. Now, especially with a guy who is a little bit lengthier like yourself but also comes from a different arm slot, how do you keep that chest more closed?
You got to think of it more in the hips. It's all about your hips staying in that back. All it is that back hip. Once you coil into that back hip, stay down there as long as you can until your foot hits the ground, and then boom, that's when you get that lead leg block, and that's whenever you fly those hips open, fly that chest open.
Even count, 2-2, 2 down, and a 2-run ball game. Bases juice for the Zap. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 3.
Sweeper has not been working too awfully well for Peters tonight. It just looks like he's pulling that one through. Fastball has been very efficient, straight in the zone though.
Bases loaded, 2 down. Full count to Aiden Johnson, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Down he goes, and Peters lets out a roar. 10-8 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Big time strikeout for Jackson Peters.
Now pitching for the Oahe Zap, number 99, Jackson Cornett. Unlock the potential of your smile and Ivory Family Dentistry, where we help you achieve a radiant, healthy smile that truly enhances your life. Experience the transformation at ivoryfd.com.
Here, I'm throwing it back to you. All right. Keep the left up and moving.
We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof?
New pitcher for the Zap is Jackson Cornett from Ellsworth Community College, making his 5th appearance of the season. Appeared in 20 times for Ellsworth this last summer, making a couple of starts. Ended the year with a 9.0 ERA, had 22 Ks in 19 innings of work. He'll lead things off against Chase Scott. singled and scored in the 5th. Walked in, nearly came around to score in the 2nd, was thrown out at the plate. Pops this one up, infield calling for it. It'll be the first baseman, Polizzi, who makes the catch for out number 1. Actually, Polizzi, oh, never mind, that is still Vince over there at first. They've been moving some guys around. I haven't really been able to catch who's all come in or out, but that's still Polizzi at first.
Let me tell you, Chase Scott, once he gets it down, he's going to be good. He's got the perfect frame for it. I know he redshirted this past year at Saracoso Community. Saracoso. I'm not too awfully sure how you say that. Whatever. But he'll be good. Whenever he gets into full stride, gets into playing way more games, he's going to be a really good ball player, and you can just tell.
He really caught some heat the last couple of weeks with his bat. Didn't play yesterday and has gotten on base a couple of times today. But flies out. Here's Peyton Fort. We've talked a lot about him today and how hot his bat has been. He's 2 for 4 tonight, and he scored twice as a single and a double on his scorecard.
Yeah, and a slow start to the year for P. Fort, but, I mean, as of late, like you said, he has been on fire. I feel like almost every single time he comes up, you can not guarantee, but almost hope for a hit.
Grounds out here.
Spoke too soon. That's on
Trying
me.
to speak it into
that
existence.
One's on me.
Tried to speak it into existence. Right. Brings up Ben Foyer, who's been swinging a hot bat. He walked his last time up. Hit a triple back in the 4th and came in to score. He's been knocking on the door of really breaking through in these last few days. He's been red hot at the plate.
Yeah, and the glove has always been there for Ben. I mean, not too many errors so far on the season based on how many balls he's gotten over there at shortstop or second base. And to see the bat finally come in for him has been huge.
And that first week down Hastings, he earned the nickname Volpe.
Yeah, that tells you all you need to know. 1 week in, and people are already calling him Volpe.
After the Yankee shortstop. And Ben definitely looks like him when he's out there playing the position. Even count 1-1. Skips away for ball 2.
Cornett able to work efficiently so far in this past inning. I believe only 7 or 8 pitches down, 2 outs, and knocking on the door of a third.
Trying to make it a quick 1-2-3 inning and get his guys into the dugout for the 9th. That one misses low for ball 3. Well, you got to give credit to the Zap. They were trailing big time after that 7-run 5th inning, but they have continued to chip away. 2 runs in the 6th, 2 runs in the 8th. And they need 2 more to tie it in the top half as there's another bullet toward the Spearfish dugout.
Yeah, if I were them down there, I'd back up a little bit. That's the 4th in 2 innings that's happened. I'd be a little bit further back.
Or up the line with all the other guys in their seats.
That's my spot to be. I love
love
being
that spot
down
over
there.
there?
I'm definitely a right side of the dugout type guy.
Chopper to the right side, second baseman waits for it, throws to first in time to get Foyer. And it's a clean 1-2-3 inning for Jackson Cornett. Last chance for the Zap, trailing by 2 as we head to the 9th. We've got a ball game and last chance for Oahe if they want to make a comeback here in Spearfish and avoid the sweep. 10-8 Squatch as we head to the top of the ninth. Last chance for Oahe. Trailing by 2. They scored 2 in the 6th to make it a 6-run ball game. Excuse me, to make it a 4-run ball game. I can do math. And then 2 more in the 8th to make it a 2-run ball game after the 7 runs dropped by the Squatch in the 5th inning. But Oahe has not gone away quietly. Leading things off for the Zap, it's Quinn Ludvigsen. He had that 2-run home run back in the 6th inning to bring it within 4, helping himself out. He pitched a little bit. Jackson Peters back out on the mound. First pitch lifted out to the shortstop Foyer for out number 1.
Easy money.
Exactly what he needed.
That feels nice right there, you know?
Yep.
Just pitching the contact, put it right in the glove there.
Brings up the 8-hole hitter, Connor Goldberg. Goldberg's been solid today. A couple of walks scored back in the 8th. First pitch, swung on and missed, 0-1.
Yeah, you mentioned the other day, it almost kind of looks like a sinker at times, the way he throws it, and it just drops a little bit. It's gnarly, man.
It's got some pretty serious movement. We watched it back yesterday, me and Peters did.
Yeah.
And he said he's never really had that much movement on his fastball, and he says he changes his grip just a little bit. It's still the traditional 4 seams, but instead of going right over the top with it, he shifts how he throws, like his release point, to the side just a little bit, so
Sure.
it has a little bit more of that movement.
Right.
And, yeah, it turns more into a sinker.
Yeah.
That's some serious break. Here's the 1-2.
There it is.
Swing and a miss. Down he goes. And Jackson Peters is 1 out away from giving the Squatch their 11th win of the season. Emiliano Curiel comes to the plate. Singled and scored back in the 2nd and singled back in the 6th. So he's 2 for 4. First pitch in there for a strike. Peters looking to close out the 9th and back-to-back nights. The 0-1. Thought about it, but took it low, 1-1.
We got to get him some sort of sickle or scythe. And you
Yes.
keep calling him the Grim Reaper. We'll get him a little costume for media day.
I think that'd be great.
Right?
Get him a dark cloak.
Yeah, dark cloak. Have him wear it on the mound, actually.
Yeah, that's how he walks out. You know, a lot of pitchers
Yes.
have like their song.
Yep. Yep.
Peters has a costume when he walks out there.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Just full of good ideas up in the press box today. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Dude, it's almost like they're golfing on wet grass. These guys are so behind it, and they're just slipping, and their feet are just flying all over the place. One more strike away here.
Final strike for the Zap. 2-2, 2 down. Peters looking to close out the side. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. The Squatch are a game and a half back of Hastings. They host them starting Tuesday for a 3-game set. It'll be the biggest series of the first half. 2-2. Peters looks in. The Grim Reaper looking for his final kill. It's inside for ball 3. Strike 3 called. The Grim Reaper does it again in the 9th. 10-8 the final, and the Squatch sweep the Zap at home. Make it 5 in a row for Spearfish. They've won 10 of their last 11. Don't let the Squatch get hot because they are on a roll right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That feels pretty good. Coach Justice Scott comes in. He's only got one loss so far in his time here in Spearfish. Teams meshing well. We talked about how much depth the bullpen has now, how much better the pitching rotation has got to have a closer like Peters. Unreal. Obviously gave up 2, but kind of came into a pretty harsh situation with bases loaded and a couple outs there in the 8th inning. But a great job by him to finish it off, AJ.
And it looks like Ben Foyer is going to be named our player of the game. Great game for Benny. Had that big triple early in the ball game. Finishes 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, a walk, and a run scored. That RBI triple was back in the 4th inning, which at that point had given the Squatch the lead for the first time. And now they are 11-7 on the year after starting with 3 straight losses. And now they are a game and a half back of the Sodbusters. We're currently up 3-0 on the Spuds. We'll be watching that game closely. Excuse me. The Squatch are 12-7. Forgot that we finished another game early yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
12-7 on the year are the Squatch, and they're a game back of the Sodbusters. And again, that series will start on Tuesday. You can catch us live on YouTube at 6:05 for first pitch, or you can go to the Spearfish Sasquatch website and pick up some tickets. It's going to be an electrifying series. Most likely the winner of that series, they'll have a pretty good chance at winning the first half. And Grayson is the one who breaks down the Sasquatch down there for their 12th win of the season. We talked about Grayson earlier with Sam Kwapnowski and the impact he's made on this team and this community. And he's the one who breaks the huddle down on the field with the guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll have a post-game interview with one of the assistant coaches when we come back. 10-8 the final here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Spearfish. Tonight, the final here from Black Hills Energy Stadium in beautiful Spearfish, South Dakota. The Squatch pick up their 12th win of the season, make it 5 in a row for you guys. Assistant coach Ryan Bachman joining us now up in the press box. Bach, an exciting win here today. Got interesting late. The Zap hung around, but ultimately Jackson Peters comes in to close the door for the second night in a row. Let's just start with some overall thoughts from tonight.
Yeah, I just think it takes a lot to come out on a Sunday afternoon. You know, it's hot, you're tired from a long week, you got an off day coming up, to come out and kind of bring the energy and find a spark. And I thought we did that really well. You know, it's always tough to sustain it, especially when you're playing a team. I mean, these guys are all college baseball players, right? Like they're going to scrap, they're going to play hard, they're not going to roll over, and that's what we saw. They're a good team. They compete. They're really good in the box, but I was just really happy to see our guys, you know, continue to kind of, even though we weren't getting the results necessarily, like the at-bats were good throughout, and of course our pitching just bears down when we need them to.
Exactly. That was the big thing at the end. Have a couple of bases loaded jams, but ultimately Ren Chambers picks up a strikeout before he leaves. Then Jackson Peters comes in to strand the bases loaded. You just can't talk about it enough how good this team has been these last couple of weeks and how good everything seems to be meshing. Let's start, though, with what happened after the game. Looked like Grayson came down on the field and broke you guys down. What does that mean to you guys as a team?
It's just special. Man, he's a special kid, and so thankful the Lord put him in Spearfish to give us a chance to learn from him. And, he's awesome. But we all love him a ton, and just having him around is the best. He's firing up the crowd all the time, and it's just great to have him around here. He's just such a we all look up to him, even though he's a little shorter than us. So,
well, it's always fun when he's running up and down the place here at the stadium, getting the crowd into it, getting everybody into it, and it's been really cool to watch him, of course, be invited into the dugout and onto the field with you guys. So it was a really cool moment, especially in a big win like this. 12th win, you guys now are a game back of the Sodbusters, have them coming up. Are you really looking much at the standings, or are you just focused on what's coming up next?
I think it's a little both. It's hard not to, you know. Like, we haven't won the first half, really. I don't. Since I've been here, we haven't won the first half. When we've made the playoffs, we've won the second half, and I think that just opens up a lot of doors for everybody to be able to kind of, work on things more the second half. It gives us opportunities as coaches to get a lot of guys in and help them get at bats and reps. But it also just, I don't know, you stay in your dugout, right? And it's so you're aware of it, but also it's let's go out and try to be the best team that we can be every day and try to handle our business, because if we don't do that, then looking at the standings doesn't matter. So, I usually check them after the game, but we're looking into us more than anything.
Absolutely. You got to ask about Jackson Peters. Comes in back-to-back nights in the ninth. Actually went an inning and a third tonight. Picked up that last out in the 8th inning. We've dubbed him the Grim Reaper up here. What's it like to know that you have a guy like that in your bullpen?
Oh, it's just it shortens games. I think I said that last night. It allows us to try to just get ahead before the 6th, 7th, 8th, and we know that we got a guy, or 4, 5, really anybody that can come out and shut somebody down. It's just so it makes our lives as coaches a lot easier. And I mean, even he didn't have his best stuff tonight. He didn't have his best control tonight, but he's still just that good that we feel confident that, hey, we know that he's gonna scrap and he's gonna grind out a good outing, at least to get us the W.
Ben Foyer was named the player of the game tonight, had that big triple. I know he's been looking to break through. He's been getting a lot of singles recently, but comes through with a big extra base hit. What's it been like to have him in the dugout? I know he's been a spark, especially defensively, too.
I love that kid. He does everything the right way. He plays the game hard, never has an attitude that it looks like he's getting beat, right? He just makes such an impact, not even just with the bat, like defensively, right? Like I guess his actions are so smooth, and he makes it look easy. And got such a good internal clock. I can't say enough good things about that kid, and especially with the bat coming through a little bit more now. And just the average maybe didn't look how he wanted to, but he was getting on base, he was stealing bases, and he's just a perfect bat at kind of the bottom of our order to turn it over. And he seems like he's always on, always scoring runs, and so he's just both sides of the ball making an impact, but also just a calming presence, and that's what you want at shortstop. So,
got an off day tomorrow. Any big plans for you and the guys?
I got to go back down to home, so I don't got too much. I'm sure I heard a few guys talking about lake days. And,
there you go.
But we've been through a long stretch, even with just since the start of the year. We kind of got our 5-day break coming up after this big series, but just to get any type of rest day, reset the pitching, and allow the guys to get away from the yard a little bit, I think is going to set us up really good for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Heal up a little bit, too.
Absolutely, yeah. We got to get a little healthy. We got to get guys feeling a little better body-wise, so I hope they, able to get there and have a little fun, but also rest and recover as well.
Absolutely. All right, appreciate your time, Bob. Thank you so much.
Good talking with you again.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome.
Big win tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll finish up the post-game show when we come back.
2.
Welcome back to Black Hills Energy Stadium in beautiful Spearfish, South Dakota. Aiden Wirtz, our producer, director, and part-time color commentator, will be full-time once we start getting things going and once we get back to Iowa, of course. And you've been through this entire journey. Of course, you've been watching all the games alongside with me and hearing all the same conversations that I've been hearing. Today felt special. To get a 10-8 win here, sweep the Zap in front of the home crowd, and get back within a game behind the Sodbusters. Big day for the bullpen, of course. Even bigger day for the offense, hanging 7 and able to back it up with the defense and hold on for that 10-8 win. But what have been some of your overall thoughts now that the Squatch are back at home?
I know I mentioned it the other night, but I got to harp on it. This team's having fun. I got goosebumps, man, when in the top of the 8th, Peter struck that kid out, bases loaded. Listen, he gave up 2, but that's not really his fault. He kind of takes the mound with him loaded, right? So that was electric. The kid broke his bat over his knee. I've never seen that at this level.
No.
You know?
So you got to feel good if you're if you're Jackson Peters picking up some lumber, I guess 100%, you could say. Yeah,
100%. He's fired up. He's pumping his fist back to dugout. He throws some really nice strikeouts there in the 9th. But, that's one of my biggest takeaways of the entire thing. If you're not having fun, how are you playing this game? Seriously, I think about this in any sport. Somebody at some point in life created this game and was like, you know what, we're going to, hit a ball as far as we can and just, run in a big circle kind of, you know?
Yeah.
At its core, baseball is a child's game. And you carry it on over, and you want to keep that childlike spirit. So I think a lot of the guys are doing that, man. It's super fun to watch. That's one of my biggest takeaways, honestly. Do I have any more? I think playing at home, they're really strong. They're really strong at home. What do they want? You said they won their last 5, 6?
Yeah, they're on a 5-game heater right now.
10 out of their last 11, you know. So obviously they did pretty well over in Pierre. But, being back home, it's really nice. Somebody hit a home run today for Oahe. Who was that?
Oh, that was
Van something.
Was it? Yeah, it was Ludvigsen.
Okay,
Quinn Ludvigsen.
Was that one of the first homers we've seen at home from an opposing team?
I believe so. I think did Fremont hit one?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
They might have hit one. But the point is, when he hit that one, I was kind of thinking, I was like, I don't know if they've hit that many. So pretty solid in terms of overall pitching to just hit the ball. There's been some defensive errors as we've noticed, and I know that I think it was maybe Evan and you were talking about the idea that you're just going to get better as the season goes on. I know Peyton Forts has done really well at the plate, sometimes struggle with the glove, but obviously he'll be out of here in 7 days, heavily missed, really well so far. I mean, he's leading in batting average, leading in doubles too.
Yeah, and hits. I mean, he's been leading the league in a lot of different statistical categories.
Yeah. Won't be fun to lose him for sure, and we're going to see how the rotation works later on in the infield, who they're going to move around. Obviously, we know that guys like Foyer have a great glove, and he's kind of just had some yips once in a while. But today, you saw some of his plays, man. He looks butter.
Oh, man.
He looks butter at short.
I mean, there's a reason why he's nicknamed Volpe.
Right. There's some plays where he'll just catch it on the short hop, and I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. I wish
go
I could
back
do that.
to the day when we could do that.
Yeah,
right?
100%. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the biggest takeaway in any sport is, when you see a team continuously start to win, you got to look at why they're so positive in the dugout. Guys are messing around. They're playing rock, paper, scissors back up to the press box yesterday. They're not – their heads aren't out of the game. They're very much so in the game. But when you think about this game and its childlike overall kind of orb of spirit around it, these guys are kind of inhibiting that. And I love it. I really do.
Yeah, it makes it – so much more fun for the fans to watch too, because the players really do interact with the fans during the game.
Yes.
The fans are right on top of the players a lot of the time when they're on deck or at the plate, and they welcome it. They love it.
Absolutely.
And just having Grayson down the field afterwards to break them down just proves that how much this team means to the community, but how much the community means to these guys. It's been really fun to watch at home. Probably one of the biggest series of the first half coming up here on Tuesday. You definitely need to make it out of the ballpark for that one. The Hastings Sodbusters have been in first place in the league since the season started, but the Squatch have a chance to dethrone them and see if they can hang on and get into the playoffs in this first half. It'd be really fun to see if they could do that. Like Bachman said, he's been here. This is now his 5th year in Spearfish, and they have never won the first half. They normally are towards the middle or bottom half, and they come back in the second. But they have a chance to make some history and
Be
go
nice.
and go win the first half for the
Be
first
real
time
nice.
in a while.
Be real nice. There's some fun themes coming up next week. Bark in the Park. Of course, we already got about 20 to 25 dogs in the dugout. But
oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's a fun time here in Spearfish. But AJ, I think you're exactly right. You know, I mean, you're not saying you take the gas pedal or take your foot off the gas pedal in the second half. But if you won the first half, you would definitely be able to kind of recuperate and think, all right, won the first half. Let's still try in the second half. But we know we're making the playoffs. Compared to last year, they missed it by one game. The last game, right? They won that
the
one.
Last game of the season.
And I remember watching that last game. I know Bach was the last out in the
Yep.
last game. Yeah.
Yep.
And obviously, I mean, a great player, heavily, deeply loved by this community, was only supposed to be here for 10 days.
Yep.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, we'll be able to dive into that story
Yeah.
on Bachman Night.
Yeah.
There's a ton of stories that we have lined up for that. But, again, thank you to everyone that joined us up here today.
Absolutely. Fun time.
Yeah, we had Isaac Martinez, Wilson Kiefer. We had Sam Kwapnowski come up for half an inning. We had Evan Lute come up. And then, of course, Bach came up to close us out.
Yep.
It's been fun having, and hopefully back at home you're starting to make connections with these guys as well. They're a great group, and if you have a chance to come out here and actually meet them, they're still hanging out with fans and signing stuff for the kids. They're very personable and love to get to know the community. So if you haven't made it out quite yet, make sure you go to the website, get some tickets. But, of course, if you can't make it, we're always live on YouTube for all the home games. So
that we are.
10-8 the final here from Black Hills Energy Stadium. My partner, Aiden Wirtz. I'm AJ Reister saying good night from beautiful Spearfish, South Dakota.